Hello there. This is Mary, the Spiritual Voices. How are all of you? It is my greatest wish that this episode finds all of you living in love, light, and joy. This episode is very important, and it is one that's going to be very near and dear to all of us, especially in the times that we are living in now. This episode is going to be concerning the coronavirus, but we're going to touch base on it in a more of a spiritual note versus the virus based note. I'm kind of wanting to bring a clarity and a calmness to the coronavirus in a time of uncertainty and fear. I want you to know that everything happens for a reason, that everything has a purpose, and if at times like this, if we can see the bigger picture and work together, we will walk through this darkness together through the doorway to see the higher spiritual dimensions and live a stronger, more powerful life. This will lead us to living a brighter and happier life. Sometimes when all we're hearing is that fear-based energy in the media, and you're walking into a grocery store and you're seeing people who don't even want to get near you, we start to live in fear, and it begins to be instilled into our soul. And then that's what we find ourselves living in. And know that don't have to necessarily live in fear. This kind of energy is going to clear out. It's going to take some time, but know that everything's going to be okay. Join me now as I speak about the spiritual journey that we've all been on for quite a while now. Some of us have been aware of the spiritual journey. Some of us have not been aware that we've been on a spiritual journey. Let me speak to you about the shift, that quantum leap. Let's talk about the ascension. Let's talk about the ascension because it's finally here in disguise of the coronavirus. This is just the beginning. Sadly, such a beautiful thing, such as the ascension, has become shaded in darkness. But that's because sometimes we have to first walk into the darkness before we can see the light. This is a very important message, so please listen and take consideration. Even if you don't believe in it, even if you think the things that I'm going to be saying, the things that you're going to hear, sound batshit crazy, at least take the time to be open-minded and hear what I have to say. Even if it doesn't fit with your belief system, just take the time to see if maybe, just maybe, there's something that could be taken away from what I say that fits a piece of your puzzle. Listen to what I have to say again in a couple of weeks. Ponder what I'm about to say, because there might be something that within a couple of weeks begins to make sense. Perhaps it'll even change your perspective. Perhaps it'll not. But regardless, either way, our world is about to change. Our world is not about to end. This is not the end days. This is not the apocalypse in the sense of the Bible, where the world's going to end and the sinners are all going to hell. My true belief is that the real hell is coming to earth over and over again and never really learning your life lessons. Those people who live with illness and disease and walk upon earth every single day in pain and suffering, that's hell. We're already living in hell. The ascension is going to walk us into heaven, where we can all live in the fifth dimension and be happy and live in love and light. We are all as a collective whole about to shift to this fifth spiritual dimension of love. Research it yourself. You don't take my word for it. Take the time to write down what I have to say and look it up yourself. Get your own opinion because everybody has a different take on it. Not just myself, but other psychic mediums, healers, energy workers, and light workers around the world have been speaking this truth now for several years and know my words to be fact. We have been speaking this truth over and over again to other people as we give them readings, trying to ask them, what is your spiritual truth? What are your beliefs? Know that there is more out there than just getting up every day and going to work. What do you have faith in? What do you believe in? What feeds your soul? There's more out there than just what the Bible tells you. The time is here. What feeds your soul? Old energy is now being cleared out for a new wave of energy to be brought in. The darkness is going to be overpowered by the light as we ascend to a higher vibration of love. Like I said, we just need to walk through the darkness before we walk through into the light. That's why it's so essential to release all this fear. I know it's hard when there's uncertainty and you're hearing all the media and the hoopla and how to take care of yourself and how to keep your hands washed. But the more fear that we put out there, the darkness feeds off of that. And so the more positive and love and light, and the more we have faith and the more healing energy we send out to other people, the more we take care of each other and take care of other people, the more we're going to raise each other's vibration and the faster this sickness is going to go away. Trust me on that. Now, quickly let me explain what a dimension is. It's not really like a place or a location. It's more like a level of consciousness that a certain energy vibrates at. We're all energy, okay? And there are several different kind of dimensions, but that's a whole different kind of episode. Currently, most of us as a collective whole vibrate at third dimensional level. So the third dimension is kind of very basic. It is what it is. It is the very operational type of system. It's how we live our everyday lives. So I'm here to tell you that we were placed here on Earth to be much, much more than that. Much, much more than just going to work every day and coming home to make money to pay our bills. We were here to move mountains. And it's time that we start believing in ourselves. Now, the fourth dimension is kind of the same as the third dimension, but it's a little bit more denser with less color. This is where we go when we're dreaming. It's where, like, spirit that's crossed over walks. So if we are having a dream and we are speaking with a loved one that has crossed over, very often this is where we're going to be, the astral plane, when we're speaking to that loved one. It's also where we reside vibrationally when we're manifesting, because spiritually we know that's how we manifest faster. A lot of people who are more spiritually evolved, they naturally vibrate to that fourth spiritual dimension because they are more aware that the spiritual ascension is here. Now the fifth dimension, that is the dimension of love, and that is what the ascension is all about. So even though I know the coronavirus is so scary and it's taking lives, which is unfortunate, the more we take care of each other and the more we release fear and we send out love and light and healing, the less lives it's going to take. So keep that in mind. If the more we listen to the government and the more we stay inside and the more we wash our hands and we stay away and take care of each other, and we send out loving and healing energy to each other and connect as a collective whole and see that we are all connected, the faster that this negative energy is going to be pushed out and it's going to go away. I ask that you walk away from fear and hold faith in your heart. Ascension is inevitable. This will sound funny to some, but the darkness will want to use this coronavirus to instill fear because it's going to slow the ascension process down. The darkness doesn't want the light because it's going to wipe it out. Look around you at the moment, and I think you're going to see how everybody is actually coming together and taking care of one another. That's because light and love lights everything up. There is a calling at the moment to actually take a look at what really matters in life. You're more than likely sitting at home and listening to this. Pause for a moment and look around you. Look at your family. Let your heart fill with love and joy. Let your heart fill with love, satisfaction, and gratitude. And know how blessed and loved you really are. Not by just your family, but by the collective whole. You are never alone. The more we do this, the more our vibrations rise together as a collective whole, and the more we ascend to that fifth dimension, the more powerful we become, and the less others can steal our glory. This is just the beginning stages of love, light, and joy. This is the time for the Great Awakening. We are about to experience more freedom, power, and more opportunity to create the reality that we choose. We are now going to find ourselves in positions where nobody will ever steal our power again. My greatest wish as a healer, a psychic, and a light worker is to reach out to you above and beyond any fear that might be created out there by the fear from this coronavirus. My goal is to lift you up and send you love and light and healing. There is beautiful change ahead. You just have to see the big picture as we move throughout this darkness. The more love we send out, the more we take care of each other, the more faith we have, the faster the darkness will move on. It won't have a choice. There is a strong merging of spiritual dimensions, timelines, and vibrations at the moment. The power of it cannot be denied. Those who are more sensitive of the energy can feel it. Some of us who are aware that they are sensitive know what they are feeling. Some who are sensitive to the energy but are not aware of what they're feeling might feel more anxious or feel like there's something coming but they're not sure what. And some might just feel like the world's coming to an end. Know that the world is not coming to an end. It's just shifting. The world is coming to an end as we know it. The world's never going to be the same again. This is the time to go deeper into your spiritual work. Tap into who you are. It's time to walk into your awakening. Be the calm in the eye of the storm. And focus on the seat of your very soul. Focus on where your heart is. Focus on what makes your heart beat. Focus on what really matters in life. This is your chance to come together for the purpose of co-creation. We no longer have to feel hated, separated, divided, or unsure of ourselves or other people. We no longer have to hide ourselves or dim our light from others in fear of what they might say, do, or think. It's okay that we don't fit in a box. It's okay that we don't fit in somebody else's version of what we're supposed to be. It's okay to be different. It's our time to be different. We will have the strength to be brave and fearless. We will have the strength to never be limited in life again. Our codes are being awakened by a higher octave cosmic frequency. This is activating dormant DNA, and not only in us, but the vibration of Mother Earth. We are presently in the midst of becoming our most genuine, authentic self through the process of ascension. This involves expanding cycles of soul growth. Our higher self is ever urging us onward and upward into higher, complex, powerful fields of consciousness. It's up to us to decide our quality of life, and we do that through the positive patterns of our thoughts. You choose your reality. And reality is all about perception. The frequencies of fear, negativity, they can be very powerful in the third and fourth dimension. And whatever negative emotion is the strongest in any situation will constantly be presented. And that vibration will constantly repeat itself in the cycle. And that's why it's so important for us as a collective whole to try to push that fear aside and instead send out love and light and healing instead of holding fear in our hearts. Because the more we do that, we're breaking the cycle of fear and we're creating a vibration of love, light, and healing, which, like I said before, is going to send out that coronavirus faster and shift us even quicker into that fifth dimension. And then as more and more of your old reality fades away, you're going to find yourself moving deeper into uncharted territory. You must learn to have faith and to trust yourself. Know that the future is unfolding perfectly for you. And I know that it's hard, especially when times are chaotic and disruptive. You have to learn how to trust yourself. And I know that this is the most difficult step because we have always been taught that people are wiser than us. They know more than us. We have literally been taught that to always do what other people tell us to do. We have literally been taught to follow the herd. While I tell you, now is the time to tap into the universal life force energy, tap into the higher wisdom, and find the universal truths that are available to all of humanity. It is time for you to attain self-mastery and reclaim your rightful state as a spiritually infused human being. We have all given our power away in order to be incarnations on the earth. We have been walking in a herd state. No longer should we do so. We need to let go of this dogma. We need to let go of everything that we have been taught and start walking in spiritual truth of love and light. We need to strengthen the connection between our heart and our mind. The more we do that, the more we are going to connect to the multidimensional aspects of our soul. This connects us to our higher self, our guides, our guardians, our angels. We do this through our heart chakra. We connect through the spiritual dimensions through our chakras. It's why it's really important to keep our spiritual chakras cleared and cleaned out through, the breath of light, through energy work, through Reiki, through meditation. Because keeping those channels open is how we connect spiritually to the multidimensional levels. And also when we have those chakras cleared out, it naturally keeps our vibration high. Those with a naturally high vibration at this current time, they're very unlikely going to get sick from the coronavirus because their vibration is so high, will not be able to touch that energy with such negativity. By attuning your mind with your higher self, you will find that you have more peace of mind. Learning how to breathe and calm yourself, it will help you release that fear and negativity and send out that love and light. The more you focus on self-love and filling yourself with that love and light, you will find yourself more calm. Now is the time to let go of the old belief structures. Sometimes it's hard, but it is the courageous thing to do. It's time to go forth and seek and live your own truth. Take that first step and take your personal power back. Release the shackles of the past and come to the understanding that you control your future. You begin the process of your awakening. You begin the process of your ascension. As you gain wisdom and begin to enjoy the positive results of your spiritual evolution, of your ascension, and your awakening, and the fact that you are a multi-dimensional creature and that you are capable of unboundable things, and that nothing can stop your power, you are going to realize, you are going to be amazed at the powerful things that you can accomplish. And you're going to wonder why you allowed yourself to be held back this long. The time is now. Part of the process of ascending to the higher dimensional realms requires you to be sure that you're unifying your earthly consciousness with a higher vibration of God consciousness. The realization that there is the God consciousness, but God is within yourself. You guys are one. Everything is connected. Everyone is whole. You have a collective whole. You have God's source, and God's source is within you. And then once we begin to realize that everything cycles, everything's energy, and everything flows, and that everything's infinite, and that nothing ever ends. Just like when someone crosses over, they don't really die. It's just their vessel, their body that it just gives out, and their energy crosses over to a different dimension, and that everything just flows. It's infinite. And we need to come into a different way of seeing things, and a different perspective, and a whole new way of love and light and thinking. This empowers us. It brings us into so many more new beginnings and so many more possibilities, and a whole new way of living and thinking and doing things. Each day when you get up, I want you to call upon your higher self and ask to be aligned with the will of your divine self for your greatest good. Ask that a shaft of golden white light to surround you every moment as you walk out into the third and fourth dimensional world. This way, you're giving your soul self permission to guide you and inspire you and to direct you. This allows you to strengthen the connection between you and your higher self, as well as the angelic realm and the great beings of light, so that you can begin to communicate as you walk through your day with intuition, as well as into your shift in the ascension. This not only gives you protection, but it starts bringing you that connection and helps you bring that faith. Okay? And know that everything expands from the center outward, including creation. So the closer you are to your center of self, the closer you are to God, and the closer you are to power. The more centered and grounded you are, the closer you are to self-awareness, and the more you are a shining being of light, of sacred love, and a joyful, serene. The more centered and grounded you are, the more you walk with self-awareness, and the more you walk as a shining being of light, and you walk with an essence that is joyful and serene, and you'll find that you have an intense desire to be in service of others. I know at the moment it may seem as though the world and your personal life is falling apart. Your personal reality is shifting and changing so quickly that you feel as though you're living on shifting sand. The tests and the challenges are dramatic and they're happening so quickly and everything is changing day by day. And, it's like everything's the same and nothing's the same and everything's changing, faster than we can blink. I know it's overwhelming and I know we're all thinking, when's it going to end and where's it going to end? But I want you to know that it's going to be okay. All of this is necessary in order for all of us to integrate as much of the radiance of the new, more powerful God rays as possible. This is going to bring us the powerful and transformative essence of the Creator. This is going to bring us into that shift, into that ascension. This clearing of energy is going to bring us the ritual of passage. The clearing process is sometimes tough and has some negative aspects, but it also opens that portal for us. And as we walk through that portal of light, as long as we hold steady, we'll all prevail. And we'll walk through that portal to brighter, more beautiful days. We'll be stronger and happier, and we will definitely see the light through the darkness. Know that I'm always here to try to give you strength and to share my wisdom. If you ever need help or you're feeling confused, feel free to message me through Facebook. I am available for readings through Skype or through Messenger. You can just message me about pricing. I know that we're all on quarantine and it is for the best. And I know it's a stressful time, it's a fearful time, and that it could be a lonely time. But know that you are never alone. There's so many people who love you. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. And I thank you so much for listening. And again, if there's anything you need, if you're needing answers, feel free to message me. Find my Facebook page, Spiritual Voices, and send me a message. The spirit in me salutes the spirit in you. Mary.